Nearsightedness, otherwise known as myopia, is on the rise and affects millions of children and adolescents worldwide. Right now, about 1 in 3 children and teens globally are short-sighted. That's when you can't see things up close clearly, like when you're reading a book, but things further away appear really blurry. And this new study from the British Journal of Ophthalmology shows in the next 25 years, almost half of young people will be affected, leading to eyesight development issues and further complications down the road. For a closer look, we're joined this morning by Tim Corson, professor of pharmacy and ophthalmology at the Leslie Dan Faculty of Pharmacy. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Okay, I'm going to guess screens have something to do with this, but why else are we seeing the increase?
So the incidence of myopia, short-sightedness, has been increasing over the last 30 years from around a quarter of kids back in 1990 to, as you said, about a third of kids globally today. And part of it, we think, is from just more time inside, and definitely screens are adding to that. There's some evidence that perhaps this is worsening as a result of time spent indoors during COVID, but it's been a long-term trend. What we find is that the more time kids spend inside, focused on close things rather than outside, looking off in the distance, running around, that seems to affect their eye development, leading to more myopia.
Okay, well, you're the expert on this. So what is the benefit of being outside? Screens aside, what's the benefit of being outdoors versus indoors for your vision?
Right, so we don't know exactly what it is, but it's a combination of perhaps physical activity, so actually running around, the bright light that we have outside that's different from indoor light, and also the ability to look off in the distance that isn't possible, of course, when we're inside.
All right. Why are young people more susceptible to this?
So myopia is a disease of how the eye forms. So as the young person's eye is growing, it's figuring out the right size that it needs to be to have good focus. And so it's a developmental issue. So kids, as their eyes are growing, are at risk of developing myopia if they're not getting that nice benefit of looking off into the distance.
We have corrective eyewear, we have laser surgery. Why are there long-term concerns about this increase in myopia?
Right, so corrective eyewear is great. I'm wearing glasses right now, but it's not an option for everybody, and it does limit some career options for people. But also people who have high myopia, so really, really strong prescriptions, are at risk for a variety of other serious eye conditions later in life, like glaucoma, cataract, even retinal detachment or macular degeneration.
So what can be done then to prevent and maybe reduce those numbers a little bit for young people and adolescents?
Yeah, for young people, just make sure that your kids are spending time outside, ideally every day. There's no magic number, but an hour or so outside every day really helps. And for those of us who are older, try to minimize our screen time, model that for young people. I know that's very difficult. We're all looking at screens right now. And just be aware of your eyes. Take a moment to look away, make sure you're blinking when you're looking at a screen, and follow the 20-20-20 rule as an older person. So that's every 20 minutes, take 20 seconds to look at least 20 feet in the distance. It won't necessarily prevent myopia in older people, but it will decrease eye strain.
Oh, that's a really good tip.
And the final point is get eye exams frequently with an optometrist or ophthalmologist. For kids in just about all provinces and territories, those eye exams are covered by provincial plans. So it's something that's really worth doing so that any problems can be detected early and treated.
Last question for you, because this affects young people, let's say, they've been living their certain lifestyle a certain way. Is it possible to correct it while they're still young?
So once myopia is starting to develop, it's very hard to stop. There are some therapies that can be tried, but it's far better to prevent it developing in the first place.
All right. I want to thank you, Tim, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.